Today on Trisha.
Look at you, look at her. You ain't her daddy.
There's 4 other men that could be my father.
What is it about the way she looks that makes you think she's not your daughter?
Will the real daddies please stand up? Has this mother been keeping a giant secret from her daughter?
I never even thought that he would tell anybody.
You haven't sat down and been honest with anybody here.
No.
Even though she was raised by Lennie, William says he could be Kiesha's real dad.
When I turned 18, he came to me and said he had something to tell me.
Why did he wait 18 years to speak up?
Your mother made me make a promise that I would never mention this to anyone.
So what? That ain't got nothing to do with her.
So why didn't you keep it secret?
I'm not the one who let it out.
What has Kiesha's mom been hiding about her past?
You were with Lennie.
With Lennie, and I left Lennie, and I won't start messing with William.
Today, Kiesha finds out if the man who raised her is really her dad. This couple planned the birth of their daughter.
You sit down and you decide you're going to have a baby together. You have the baby, and then you go, oh, it's not my baby. Is that right?
But now Buddy claims 11-month-old Malia looks nothing like him.
That ain't my nose, that ain't my lips. When I look at that picture, I don't see me.
Then, Samantha feels her father has rejected her all her life.
He's there for my other siblings, not for me.
It arose that it's a possibility Sam wasn't really mine.
Daddies, denial, and DNA on Trisha.
Okay, everybody, please welcome Kiesha and her mother, Cynthia. All right, now, Kiesha grew up believing that this man, Lennie Sr., was her father. But there is another man who is running around town claiming that he is Kiesha's father. Yeah. Now, his name is William, and William claims he slept with Cynthia when she was engaged to Lennie and believes Kiesha is his daughter. So, yeah, let's listen to Lennie and William's take on this confusing situation.
I'm here today to let the world know Kiesha is my daughter, only mine. She's gone home with me.
I'm here to see if Kiesha really is my daughter. When Kiesha's mother, Cynthia, was pregnant, she secretly told me I was definitely the father.
I want William to stop spreading rumors around town that he is Kiesha's father.
Lennie thinks that I'm running around town spreading rumors about Kiesha being my daughter. But in fact, it's really Cynthia who's running her mouth.
Kiesha's mother, Cynthia, is not helping the situation because I believe she's telling William that he is the father.
Even though Kiesha thought that Lennie was her biological father, I've always treated her as if she were my daughter.
William will never take my role as Kiesha's father. He's never been there for 28 years.
I hope the DNA test proves that Kiesha is mine. This way, I'll have the daughter that I never had.
No matter what this test proves, doesn't mean a damn thing to me, but I'm bringing my baby home.
So, Kiesha, let's start at the beginning. Growing up, who did you believe to be your dad?
Lennie.
Lennie, from the get-go. So
From the get-go.
when did William's name come up?
When I turned 18, he came to me and said he had something to tell me.
Yeah.
And he told me that he believed that he was my dad. And he asked me if I would take a test. I agreed to a test, and he's never went and got one.
Cynthia, how come you didn't tell your daughter that this other guy, William, was in the frame?
At the time, I was married to Lennie, and getting ready to marry Lennie, and I wanted Lennie to be the father.
You wanted Lennie to be a father, but you were actually having an affair with William. Is that right?
Right.
Okay, so let's talk about the roles of both men. Lennie says he's really been your dad. He's been there for you. True?
27 years.
27 years he's been there for you. Since you were 18, you and William, what kind of relationship have you
We
had?
speak when we see each other, but there's never no father-daughter.
Nothing there at all?
I don't look at him like that, and I won't.
You won't?
No.
Whatever?
No.
Okay, let me ask you this. There was something mentioned in that tape piece we saw, Cynthia, where William talked about keeping it a secret.
Okay, when I found out I was pregnant, I asked William, I said, well, let Lennie raise Kiesha, and don't say anything. I never told you that, but I didn't want him to tell you this, that he was your dad. Because I wanted Lennie to raise Kiesha.
So So hang on, do you think that William is her dad?
Yes.
You mean
You
you
do?
bring us all the way up here before you tell us that there's a
And this is
possibility?
Lennie Jr.
Yeah, that's my sister, it's my mom.
Stand up for me. What are you saying? What are you saying to your mom?
So you mean you get us all the way up here to find out that there really might be a possibility that he's the dad? So why didn't you feel need to tell us that before we come
You
up
didn't
here?
even think, you didn't know anything?
No, me and my dad figured that William was passing rumors around in the street and we wanted to come up here and deal with it.
I didn't want to tell. I wanted Lennie to be the dad, so I just asked Amanda to leave it there and leave it alone.
Whoa! How do you feel about this, Kiesha?
It's a shock, and
You can't even look at her right now.
I never even thought that he would tell anybody. I asked him not to.
Really?
you was just gonna let me go all this time believing one person's my dad and somebody else is. Like, who does that? What would you do if Grandma did that to you? You wouldn't like that. You know who your dad is. I have a right to know who my dad is. Every person has a right to know who their dad is.
I didn't do it to hurt anybody. I was doing
What do
it
you
to
mean
help
you
you.
didn't
I
do
wanted
it to
just to
hurt?
have the
What do
same
you think
dad.
it was going to happen?
Because I wanted just to have the same dad, and I wanted Lennie to be your dad. That's why I did it.
It's not what you want. It's what's the truth. Like, what's there. Like, it's not what you want. You don't get what you want.
No. So, what happens, Kiesha, if the DNA test comes back and says that William is your genetic father? What then?
Lennie's still my father.
Let me get this right, Cynthia. Are you saying that William could be her dad, or you don't know, or he is your dad? What do you think?
I don't know.
You don't know. So what was the situation? Help me out here. You were with Lennie.
With Lennie, and I left Lennie, and I started messing with William, and then I found out I was pregnant, and I went back to Lennie.
And did Lennie know that you'd been with William? Did he know that?
Yes, he did.
Did he know that there was a chance that William could be your dad?
No,
The
Lennie
dad?
didn't know anything, no.
So you haven't admitted, you haven't sat down and been honest with anybody here?
No.
Well, I think it's time we meet William and hear why he waited 18 years to tell Kiesha that he could possibly be her father. So, William, come on out. Hi. Cynthia, you're pushing William's chair away. Why?
What's wrong with that?
I know I don't have a problem with that.
Why? William, what's going on? What's going on?
She's not telling the whole story.
All right, how'd it go?
All right, so let's hear. So what is the whole story?
The whole story is this. She made me promise her that I would never say anything
What kind
about...
of man would even hold up to that promise?
The kind of man that was loving you.
if you was any kind of man, I would be like, no, I got a baby
the type of
coming,
man that would
and I
respect
wouldn't,
your marriage.
man,
You would promise to marry another woman, a man.
But after
You
y'all was
want-
done,
you want-
what
you
about
made a-
me? What about me?
We'll-
Yeah,
we'll
what
get to
about
that.
you?
We'll get to
When
that.
you and my mom was done-
couldn't raise her?
When
That's
you and
not
my mom
true.
was done, you still could have came and talked to me.
Your mother
But
made
you
me make a
didn't. When you-
promise.
Okay, let's just
Your
hear what-
mother
Right.
made me make a promise that I would never mention this to
That ain't
anyone.
got nothing to do with her. And then we
Yes,
was
it
together
did.
after she turned 6 years old.
And even
you still
after
wasn't her
she,
dad,
and we
man.
were
Don't
still
sit here and
together.
lie.
When we
You
were still together.
Man, even after she was born,
After
you
she
still
was
didn't
born,
take care
you
of her.
married Lennie.
Of course.
It's been
So
28
who
years.
who was I to interfere in your marriage? You made a choice. You chose Lennie over me.
So
I
if you
accepted
were my
that.
dad, you accepted the fact
I
that
did
you
not know.
married my aunt.
I
after
did
You
not
married my
know.
sister.
Yes,
And
I did.
then- So you would be...
And you think I'm supposed to like, oh, okay, it's okay.
Okay. All right. Hey. So.
There's no reason we should have had to come all the way up here and deal with this.
We shouldn't have.
You didn't. Kiesha been to hell and back. She been through the fire. You wasn't there. It was me and that man riding down the highway going to West Virginia. You know what I'm saying? Nobody sat in them rooms. You know what I mean? Paternity don't mean nothing about being a father. It's about actions, and you ain't did none of them actions.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Okay, so why now? Why when she was 18, why did you go to her and say something? Why didn't you go to Cynthia and say, Cynthia, I think it's time you told your daughter?
Lennie's done a great job. I had no right to step on his toes. He's raised this child.
So why didn't you keep it secret?
I'm not the one who let it out.
You did too. You even went on Facebook. You even went to your cousins.
I didn't go to them. They came to me
And said,
because
"This is your
somebody
daughter."
was talking to them.
Who's this somebody?
Hello, Cynthia.
Let me ask you, William, what happens if the DNA test comes back and proves that you are not Kiesha's dad?
I have to accept it.
If Kiesha is your daughter, then what?
I'll be happy, but honestly,
Yeah.
I can't take the place of Lennie. Lennie has been there from day one. I have no beef with Lennie. Lennie has treated this child like a princess.
Do you admire what he's done?
Yes, I do. He has done a hell of a job. He's done a hell of a job. I've never seen Lennie deny him for anything.
All right, well, let's take a break here. And when we come back, we're going to meet Lennie and we're going to hear the results. We'll be back right after this.
Up next,
That's the very first time I heard this.
Oh. Cynthia, you cheated just that once.
No. She better not say that.
coming up,
You decide you're going to have a baby together. You have the baby, and then you go, oh, it's not my baby. Is that right?
That ain't my nose, that ain't my lips.
and later.
There's 4 other men that could be my father.
Denial and DNA
You ain't her daddy.
today on Trisha.
Welcome back. We've been talking to Kiesha, who has told her entire life that this man, Lennie Sr., was her father. But Kiesha's mother, Cynthia, admits that when she was engaged to Lennie Sr., she had an affair with William. And today, William claims he could be Kiesha's father. Now, both Lennie and William, I guess, are praying that a DNA test proves that they are Cynthia's biological father. So, now it's time to meet Lennie. Let's meet Lennie. So, poor Kiesha is hearing a lot of things for the very first time.
Yeah.
She heard that Cynthia made William swear not to say anything about the
I
fact
didn't know
that
none of this.
Oh, you heard this for the first time as well?
That's the very first time I heard this.
Oh. So what was going on? You two are married?
Yeah.
And you knew that Cynthia had an affair with William?
No, not at that time. No.
Did you know William at all?
Yeah, he worked in the same company I worked with for years.
So when he came back and said she was pregnant,
Yeah.
what was there any question about?
Never.
Did she tell you about William?
No.
So she didn't tell you there was any question mark over her pregnancy?
I was supposed to be Kiesha's daddy, which I am. She's never put no other man in it. No other man.
Till when? Till when?
Till grown. After I left her and Kiesha got grown, now they're going to bring all this stuff out.
This shouldn't be happening.
This is crazy.
Sure shouldn't.
It should not be happening.
Look at you. Look at her. You ain't her daddy.
Okay, so I get the impression that you, Lennie, you
That's
three are
my
very,
son.
you're very tight. You're very tight family. Very tight.
That's my man.
May I say something? This is one of the reasons why
And you've been on
this is a close-knit family. They are, like I said, Lennie has done nothing but be a good father. I have the utmost respect for Lennie.
But
I've
are you
always had
saying
the
you
utmost
didn't
respect.
let the cat out of the bag?
No, I didn't because I made a promise.
Better than I am, because
See,
he
that's
kept
what
the
I'm saying.
promise. He keeps sitting there.
Yes, I did keep the promise.
But you did it because you didn't even have to take
If
care of
you
her.
would not
That's
have
why you
came to
didn't do
me
it.
and asked me not to make
Why
the
would you
promise,
even say
who
that
knows
to
what
the
would have
man?
happened.
Cynthia, you cheated just that once.
No. She better not say that. She better not say that.
What?
Because she done had a bunch of affairs.
A bunch?
Yeah.
Like you never had no affair. Come on,
I
Lennie.
never cheated on
Bring it
you
there.
from the day we got married.
You have cheated
But
on
you-
me, so don't even go
the
there.
lie detector will tell.
Well, oh, hang on. While we're talking about the truth, how long did you two have an affair while you were married to Lennie?
It wasn't even
No,
like that.
we didn't have an affair when she was married to
Married to
Lennie.
It started before we got married.
And when she came to
kept
me,
it going.
No, when she came to me,
Right.
when she came to me and said that she was marrying you, and she made me make this promise, it was over.
Is it just between these two men here, or is there any other?
nah.
No.
Oh, please. What the hell you mean?
Let me tell you right now, I know he's not her father. But if I'm not her father, which I'm still taking her home, that's my daughter.
Who else is?
We don't know who.
All right. There are big questions question marks, I guess, over what Cynthia was and wasn't doing.
Right.
And Lennie, what were you curious about that you don't already know?
I already knew she was messing with somebody.
All right.
I left my job one morning a little bit early, had somebody punch me out, caught her in bed with another one of my friends, knocked out, drunk, asleep. They didn't even know I was in the house.
Cynthia agreed to take a lie detector test.
So did I.
Yes, well... So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, our polygraph examiner, Tim Acosta, will give us the results. We'll see you after this.
Coming up,
We asked Lennie, does he want to get back with Cynthia? He said no. Tim?
and later. Today, Kiesha finds out if the man who raised her is really her dad. But first,
You decide you're going to have a baby together. You have the baby, and then you go, oh, it's not my baby. Is that right?
That ain't my nose, them ain't my lips.
daddies, denial, and DNA.
You ain't her daddy.
Today on Trisha.
Please welcome Aisha. Now, Aisha is here today because this man, Buddy, denies he is the father of her 11-month-old daughter, Malia. She's so cute. Now, not only does Buddy say Malia looks nothing like him, he also accuses Aisha of being a cheater. Yeah. Now, get this. Buddy's own mother, Donna, is also here today, and she wants her son to shut up, man up, and be a father to his daughter. Yeah. Have a look at Aisha's story.
I am here today because I want my boyfriend, Buddy, to stop denying that he is the father of our 11-month-old daughter, Malia. Our daughter does not deserve this treatment or rejection from her own father. Buddy does not believe that Malia is his daughter because he claims she is too dark, does not look like him, or his other child. Now, how ridiculous does that sound? I am sick and tired of Buddy not accepting our child because he thinks I've cheated on him with other guys. I have never cheated on Buddy, and I have always been faithful. Thank God for Buddy's mom, Donna. She accepted our daughter as her grandchild from the very beginning. If it wasn't for Donna, I don't know how I would get through this nightmare. I'm not worried about this paternity test because it will prove without a doubt that Buddy is Malia's father. I just want Buddy to know the truth once and for all, that Malia is his daughter, so that we can just move forward with our lives.
Yeah. So, Aisha, when you got pregnant, Buddy was around?
Yes. Our daughter was planned.
When did this start, him doubting that she was his daughter?
I would say maybe when she around 3 months old, because I guess her features still didn't look any like his, and she was so dark. She's much darker than we are.
And how is this affecting you?
I'm hurting. My daughter, she doesn't deserve that. You know, she's beautiful. Who would deny her?
She's gorgeous, isn't she?
I mean,
did you see? Oh. An unusual ally in Buddy's mum, Donna.
I'm like a second daughter to her.
She doesn't have any doubt?
She has no doubt at all.
And Buddy does?
Yep.
So, if the DNA test proves that Malia is not Buddy's daughter, what would it do to your relationship?
Nothing, because that's not going to happen. That's not even a possibility. It's not a possibility.
It's not a possibility. Okay. When, in your words, when the DNA test comes back and proves that Malia is Buddy's daughter, will things change?
I hope so. I just want to move forward and be happy. I just want it all to go behind us.
Okay, well, before we bring out Buddy, let's hear what he had to say.
I came on the show because I don't believe Malia is my daughter, and I need some proof. I have strong doubts that she's not my daughter because, for one, she's dark as hell. For two, she don't look nothing like me, and she don't look nothing like my other daughter. Aisha and I, we've been together for 2 years now, and it's to the point to where I don't trust her, and I feel like she's just been cheating on me with other guys. Aisha think I'm mean and nasty when it come to her baby, Malia, but hell, I guess the truth hurt. The baby ain't mine. It really pisses me off when my mom takes Aisha's side about some baby instead of taking my side when I'm her son. She's supposed to be defending me. My mother really needs to mind her own business and support my decision when I say I ain't that baby's father. If it turns out Malia is my daughter, then I will step up to the plate and do the right thing. If it turns out that I am not Malia's father, then it's gonna be hell to pay because it's gonna prove my suspicions was right and Aisha's a liar and she's a cheater. All I want is the truth about Malia. I just want to know if that's my daughter or not.
We've got Aisha in tears, so I think it's time we meet Buddy. Come on out, Buddy. Hi, Buddy. Have a seat. So, hey, Buddy, tell us, you really think that Aisha's been messing around behind your back?
Basically like this. I don't care if we've been locked in the room together.
Yeah.
I still want a blood test, just because. If I'm gonna be obligated for the rest of my life, I want to know.
But I thought you planned the pregnancy.
And he did.
Yeah, it was planned. Yeah, it was planned. It was planned. But at the same time, though, like I said, you know,
Hang on, so it's planned. You sit down and you decide you're gonna have a baby together. You have the baby, and then you go, oh, it's not my baby. Is that right?
No, that ain't what it was. You know, I showed up. I was there. You know, I played my role. I've been here. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you played your role when you supplied the sperm.
Yeah.
No, I played my role. No. Look, I played my role by even still being here.
What does your mum say about this? Does your mum think this is your baby?
Yeah, my mom, she think it's my baby.
Let's look at this. If the paternity test comes back and says that Malia is your daughter, will anything change?
Yeah.
Somebody said no.
I wouldn't be able
Who
to
said
know
no?
what you're talking
Hang
about.
on. You don't think anything would change? Why not? Stand up. Tell me why not. Why do you think nothing's going to change?
Well, because people are going to be who they are, all right? Whether there's a DNA paper that's saying that they're the parent or not, it shouldn't matter. If you love each other, then you should be a family. Then you should be a family. I've raised kids that are not my own.
Oh, buddy, this gentleman saying he's raised kids that are not his own.
You be a sucker. I ain't no sucker.
How about I'm taking care of the father that didn't step up like you?
What you mean? What you mean? You don't know what you're talking about.
All right. I want to hear what your mom has to say in all of this. So let's welcome Donna. What do you think when you hear your son talk like that?
It's embarrassing because I raised him better. All because that's not his nose. That's what? You didn't go to medical school. That is your daughter.
A lot of people, buddy, are going to be looking at you and looking at your mum and saying, did your mum ever turn around and say, that's not my son. He's darker than me. He's got different features than me.
But look how light I am, though. You know what I mean? What you mean?
But you don't know what goes through your family.
That ain't even the case in this scenario, though.
You haven't seen your family history.
Okay.
It ain't like I haven't been there playing father. Who been there?
All right, but those words you give, they always hurtful. You know she's yours. We planned her together.
Together, but okay.
Okay. All right.
Let me hear you.
She works 2 jobs, goes to school. When does she have time to cheat?
I'm saying, when she got pregnant, though, she wasn't living with me, though.
She gave him a key to her apartment.
And my sister gets in.
I know her. What can I possibly do when you can come to my house at any time of the day, any time of night, whatever?
Donna, can I ask you what you would do? I don't know what the DNA tests say, but what would you do if a DNA test came back and said that your son is not Malia's father?
What?
Well,
that's not going to happen. That is his daughter.
Yes, she is.
Let's come to get the results of the DNA test. Since you're the one questioning things, buddy, maybe you should be the one to open the envelope.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what it says. Here we go.
Look at that thing.
All right, let's see.
You are the father.
Okay, y'all.
I don't know. Up next, by questioning Malia, you've really dragged Aisha's name through the mud. Coming up,
there's 4 other men that could be my father.
It arose that there's a possibility Sam wasn't really mine.
And later.
You want to open these?
My baby.
Kiesha finds out if the man who raised her is really her dad.
You are the father.
Get off my stage!
Daddies, denial, and DNA.
You ain't her daddy.
Today on Trisha.
I came on the show because I don't believe Malia is my daughter.
I am sick and tired of Buddy not accepting our child because he thinks I've cheated on him with other guys.
It really pisses me off when my mom takes Aisha's side about some baby instead of taking my side when I'm her son. She's supposed to be defending me.
Donna, what do you think when you hear your son talk like that?
It's embarrassing because I raised him better.
You know she's yours. We planned her together.
What would you do if a DNA test came back and said that your son is not Malia's father?
What?
Well,
That's not going to happen.
Let's come to get the results of the DNA test. Since you're the one questioning things, Buddy, maybe you should be the one to open the envelope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crack that
Okay,
thing
I don't know
open.
what it says. Here we go.
Look at that thing.
All right, let's see.
You are the father.
Okay, y'all.
Oh, well, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, that's my baby.
Exactly. That's your baby.
Can I put something to you? By questioning Malia, you've really dragged Aisha's name through the mud. And you're just going to look and say, oh, yeah, okay. I think, come on. Yeah, come on. Come on. You have an amazing mum in all of this. I just want to really congratulate you.
Coming up,
There's 4 other men that could be my father.
It arose that that's a possibility. Sam wasn't really mine.
and later.
You want to open these?
My baby.
Kiesha finds out if the man who raised her is really her dad. Daddies, denial, and DNA.
You ain't her daddy.
Today on Trisha.
Joining me now is Samantha. Samantha says her father, Richard, has treated her as an outcast and not been there for her since she was a little girl. Now, Samantha feels that perhaps this is because he believes Samantha is not his biological daughter. So, she wants to find out the truth once and for all. The big question, is Richard her father? Let's hear her story.
Growing up was hard. My mom abandoned me when I was 3, and I had 4 other sisters. My dad lost us to foster care. It was hard for him to get us back, but he got us back. My relationship with my father wasn't the best because he didn't protect us. I think the reason why is because he had it in the back of his mind that I wasn't his. If I find out that my dad isn't my dad, it's really going to hurt because I could have done without going through the things that I went through growing up. And I could have possibly had that family.
So there's all this doubt that Richard is your father. When did that start? Can you remember when you started having those doubts?
I actually had all those doubts growing up.
Why?
Just being treated differently than my siblings.
Do you look different from your siblings, do you think?
Very much so.
Okay, and you talked about Richard, your father, treating you differently. In what way?
Just, he's there for my other siblings, not for me. You know, I had a lot of life events happen. I had a daughter that passed away. He wasn't there. I got married.
Was he there at your wedding?
No.
Did he know that you were getting married?
Yeah.
Wow, you look so pretty as well. So did you hear rumors about the fact that maybe Richard wasn't your father?
Yeah, well, there's 4 other men that could be my father.
I don't know what the DNA test results are, but you need to be aware that if Richard is your father, there are still a lot of issues that you're going to have to work through. And if he isn't your father, it's kind of a no-win situation. It gives you closure of one kind, it opens a hell of a lot more doors, trust me, okay? So you've got to be ready for that. All right. Well, I think it's time that we meet Richard. Yeah? 2 sides to every story.
Right.
Let's get Richard to come on out. I'm going to go and get him. Samantha, you know? How long is it since you two actually got to see each other?
3 years.
3 years?
Yeah.
All right, but now one of the things Samantha felt is that she was treated differently from her siblings.
Well, when that rumor came out, it arose that there's a possibility Sam wasn't really mine.
Did that make you in some ways almost try and distance her emotionally because you didn't want to get hurt?
Somewhat.
Yeah.
I always talked to her, but I wasn't close to her like I should have been. And the decisions I've made has been wrong. You got to stand up for what you think is right.
You could have been, I mean, I'm not quite sure what your relationship is with Samantha, but...
It's short because of the girlfriend I got now.
When you go home and she gives you grief about being here today, what are you going to say to her?
2 words, shutting up.
Do you love Samantha?
Sure I do.
What happens if the DNA test comes back and says that you are not biological father and daughter? What then?
I'm going to ignore it. She's still mine. I don't care.
What if the DNA test says that you are father and daughter? Will things change, do you think?
I expect it would.
And
when she invited me to go down to her place, I'm going to see if I can't get away down there.
Is that what you wanted to hear, Samantha? Yeah?
Yeah.
That's all you wanted to hear?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we had Samantha and Richard take a DNA test to prove whether or not Richard is Samantha's father. So, we have the DNA test results here. I don't know what they are. Would you like to open that? Would you like to read the results?
Yeah. You're my dad.
I've just been told something by our producers. Now, Richard, if you do want to travel down to see Samantha and her family, we here at the show would love to pay for that ticket for the 2 of you. Is that okay? Really? Yes. Really? Can you have a hug?
Yeah.
Can I have one too?
Up next, do you want to open these?
Hi, baby.
Kiesha finds out if the man who raised her is really her dad.
You are the father. Get off my stage.
Daddies, denial, and DNA.
You ain't her daddy.
Today on Trisha.
I'm here today to let the world know Kiesha is my daughter.
I'm here to see if Kiesha really is my daughter. When Kiesha's mother, Cynthia, was pregnant, She secretly told me I was definitely the father.
William will never take my role as Kiesha's father. He's never been there for 28 years.
I hope the DNA test proves that Kiesha is mine. This way, I'll have the daughter that I never had.
Cynthia, you cheated just that once.
No. She better not say that. She done had a bunch of affairs.
A bunch?
Yeah.
Like you never had no affair. Come on,
I
Lennie.
never cheated on you from the day we got married.
Lennie had some questions about Cynthia. Cynthia had some questions about Lennie. It seems today a lot of truth has come out about the past, maybe a lot of secrets and lies that have been kept. So maybe this is an opportunity to put all of that, I was going to say to bed, let's say to rest. Okay. You know what I mean. All right. So, Tim Acosta, our polygraph examiner, is here with us today to reveal the results. As usual, I just have the questions. Here are the questions that we asked Lennie. Tim will tell us whether Lennie gave a truthful answer or not. We asked Lennie if he ever cheated on Cynthia prior to finding her in bed with another man. He said no. Tim?
The lie detector determined he was telling the truth.
We asked Lennie, has he ever doubted that Kiesha was his daughter? He said no. Tim?
The lie detector determined he was telling the truth.
Oh, we asked Lennie, does he want to get back with Cynthia? He said no. Tim?
The lie detector determined he was telling the truth.
All right.
I'm glad.
I'm sure you both kind of
we are free.
All right, Cynthia's lie detector results. We asked Cynthia, was she in love with Lennie when she first married him? She said yes. Tim?
The lie detector determined she was telling the truth.
Now, that surprised me.
Really?
Yes, it did.
We asked Cynthia, is she still in love with Lennie? She said no. Tim?
The lie detector determined she was telling the truth.
Oh, I believe that. Yeah. I don't think she ever did.
All right, we asked Cynthia, aside from the two men she has told Lennie about, have you had sexual contact with any other man besides Lennie while you were together with him? She said no. Tim?
The lie detector determined she was telling the truth.
What? In your face.
We asked Cynthia, does she want to be in a relationship with William? She said yes.
Uh-oh. Yeah. Okay, she told the truth.
The lie detector determined she was telling the truth.
Oh, I believe that. I believe that. That's why they got this all going.
All right. So now's the moment we've all been waiting for, and especially Kiesha's been waiting for, and we have the DNA test results. Thank you. Do you want to open these?
My baby.
I don't know what the results are, but there's difference between, I don't know, who supplies the sperm and who's a dad. Let's... Okay.
That's it.
Yes.
Lennie is her
Okay. You knew this way. We both knew it. We both knew it. Now, this got to stop.
The thing is, I think, and I'm careful what I say here because I was in my mother passed, you know, a number of years ago, and I wish she had been honest with me about who my father was. And keeping that from someone for so long, and you feel that you maybe have been living a lie, that is a tough thing, isn't it, Kiesha?
You don't know.
You might not know.
But
But she's an adult. You can sit her down and explain.
baby.
Yeah, when she was 18, at least sit her down and say, here's the situation. So she doesn't have to hear it from someone walking up to her and say, hey, you could be my daughter.
Down when she's
That
around
painful,
4 or
huh?
5.
But I'm so glad, Kiesha, that the man you obviously love and vice versa has proved to be your daddy.
Yes.
So you can go on. And commiserations to you, William. But
Thank you.
you've got boys, you've got children. Thank the Lord that you have those children. Daddies, denial, and DNA.
You ain't her daddy.
Today on Trisha. Okay, there are two things that you cannot mess with. 3 things, actually, you cannot mess with. Tim Acosta, our lie detector expert, you can't mess with him. DNA tests, you cannot mess with them. And our audience, you cannot mess with it. Take